Hey guys, Avilo here, bringing you another update about community updates for StarCraft 2. Welcome, welcome. So what is this one gonna be about? So, this video is gonna pretty much be about Mech. Once again, I don't know how many videos I've made about this. Countless, probably. Talked about this all day on stream for years. Still hasn't been addressed, but anyways, we're gonna go over some things here, because Blizzard just released another community update, which is great. But there's like a lot of stuff that I disagree with, of course, as usual, Kappa. But so alright, so I'm reading here, and I want to go over this with you guys because I feel like we're heading down bullshit road again. So Blizzard is basically, to be honest, let's be blunt here, let's cut the bullshit. They are pussying out. Blizzard seems to be so hesitant to remove tank-evac from the game and actually make tanks good. And I think from reading most comments and reading a lot of stuff, from what I read, most people, there's a lot of people that really want tank-evacs gone. Not only because it messes up TVT, but people want tanks to not suck, and they want mech to be viable. And so what I'm reading here in this feedback update, that they received feedback from all the professional teams in Korea regarding the current balance test map. Let's run through what they thought. The pros didn't like the siege tank damage increase or disabling the pickup, saying that siege tanks weren't viable after these changes. So first of all, this is something Blizzard needs to stop doing. This. They need to stop trying to cater to the 5 top Koreans in Korea. No one gives a shit, honestly. So this is a problem that I see that Blizzard makes when it comes to balance that I think Riot does a lot better. Blizzard shouldn't be balancing for pros or to try and, appease pros. They should be balancing to make the game fun and make the game exciting, and then more people watch the game because the game itself is actually fun and exciting. Of course, pro gamers in Korea aren't going to want a tank change because that might fundamentally change the entire game for them. They might actually have to learn how to play mech too instead of just bio every game. It might make the game way different, and they don't want to have to adapt because they're all, pro gamers playing in tournaments making money. But guess what? Pro gamers do adapt. If you're a pro gamer, by definition, you adapt to patch changes. Here's my argument, and I think this is just a little argument that anybody can. So there's going to be some StarCraft 2 elitists out there that are going to argue that things shouldn't be changed because it'll mess up the pro scene. It'll mess up the pro scene if they patch the game too much, and the pros will get fucked up. Let me put it to you this way, for all the StarCraft 2 elitists out there that have that argument. So if you're going to present to me that argument, I want to present to you this. You would admit that StarCraft 2 players in general usually have high APM, 180, 200 to 250, sometimes 300 plus APM. Good mechanics, they're good strategically. You would admit that, right? The StarCraft elitists would admit that StarCraft players are fucking amazing. So what about like a MOBA player? What about a MOBA player that has like 30 APM? What about professional League players, professional League of Legends players? There's literally patch changes to League every 2 to 3 weeks because Riot actually patches the game. There's literally patch changes to champions and items and stuff every couple weeks, every month or two. There's so many changes. And those players that play shitty MOBA games, as the StarCraft elitist would say, I'm not saying that, I actually enjoy MOBAs, but as the StarCraft 2 elitist would say, those shitty MOBA players have like 30 APM, they're controlling one unit, and their mechanics admittedly probably aren't as good as the average, platinum or whatever StarCraft player. I think even they would admit that. Most MOBA players would admit that StarCraft is a very mechanically intensive game. So my argument or my presentation to the StarCraft 2 elitist out there that says are you honestly saying the pro scene is going to be fucked up if there's patch changes to StarCraft 2? It's going to fuck up the pros? You're basically admitting, by saying that, you're admitting that MOBA players are more skilled than StarCraft 2 players because those MOBA players can professionally adapt to patch changes every couple weeks. But you're saying you're trying to baby the StarCraft 2 elitists out there. You guys are trying to baby the StarCraft 2 pros and say that the pro scene's going to get fucked up because of patch changes? Honestly, you know that's not true. You know the professional gamers are the ones that are going to adapt to the patch changes. There should be patch changes. So that's the first thing. So I'm reading this thing, like, yeah, the fucking Korean pro gamers, they don't want the changes. Of course they don't want the changes. They're fucking pro. They don't. You have to understand. So this is just, you have to understand, guys. This goes to everybody, whether they're Korean pros, European pros, NA pros, whether they're from the Antarctic. If there's a server in Antarctica where polar bears actually play, the polar bear pros too, any pros, of course, like the pros they would be content and happy if StarCraft 2 remained exactly the same for the next 10 years and everybody quit the game. They would be like, they wouldn't give a shit. Because they don't want to have to adapt and work harder to adapt to the changes. It's not even working harder, it's just a matter of being able to adapt and be open-minded to the changes. But of course Korean pros aren't going to want the tank change. It's going to completely change the game for them. It's going to, and they, like, the pros, you have to understand, pro gamers can be mechanically great, but, I mean, you may see me tweet every now and then, guys, that, like, holy fuck, this, like, so-and-so pro gamer in this tournament, like, played this situation absolutely fucking terrible. Like, he didn't know what to do late game. And that's because, just because you're a pro and you're really good mechanically doesn't mean you understand the game overall or what's good, or that, you would be a good designer or game balancer. Pros are historically the worst people when it comes to consulting for balance. There are some exceptions, but in general, most pro gamers a lot of times are like those fucking robots that play 12 hours a day and they don't want any changes whatsoever. So this feedback update from Blizzard, I honestly don't think they should be going. I mean, yes, they should be asking Korean teams, Korean pros, NA pros, EU pros, whatever. They should be, of course, asking what they think about the changes. But it feels like they're trying to cater way too much to the top 5 guys, and it would be like, think about it this way. So let me make an analogy for you. This is going to be a tennis analogy because I know tennis the best from all the other sports. But most people, maybe if you haven't even played tennis, you know of like Roger Federer, and you've heard of like Andre Agassi, and you've heard of these names, and these are like the godly player, Rafael Nadal. You've heard of these guys. They're like the top players of the game. Could you imagine if like Blizzard went to these guys and asked like only the top players what they thought of like certain changes to the game or rules, and only asked them and didn't give a shit about the rest of the people playing tennis or whatever? I know it's not the best analogy, but it's sort of similar because you have to do changes that you feel will make the game fun, regardless. I mean, you can get input from those top players, from those godly players, but your changes should not be based off of like. Because I feel like Blizzard is completely going backwards here. I feel like they're saying they don't want to remove the tank-evac and make the game better, because tank-evacs... Let's go over this first. Tank-evacs. Tank-evacs suck. Tank-evacs are terrible for the game. I'm going to address this right now because I hear the GSL commentators are toastless and tasteless, circle jerking the tank-evac a little bit, which is, here's the thing with the tank-evac. The tank-evac is not good for gameplay. For the gameplay and the people that are playing the game, tank-evacs are so bad for gameplay. They're so frustrating to play against, especially in TVT. And I don't think even the GSL commentators are articulating exactly the they're saying it's exciting. They're saying tank-evacs are exciting and make the game more exciting, but that's not what that's not what they really think is exciting. What's really exciting are the changes. The fact that the tank-evac exists and has changed the game. That's what is exciting. The tank-evac itself is utterly horseshit and not exciting, and it's actually it removes all positional play from the siege tank. The tank-evac itself is an idiotic unit. Most people that have any common sense or can make a rational argument would agree that tank, especially people that play the game, people that are playing the game on ladder, tank-evacs are so annoying to play against, and they're so stupid. Tank-evacs are bad for gameplay, but they're exciting because it's a change. It's new. That's what's exciting about it. It's not the tank-evac itself. The fact that it's something that's different, that's what's exciting. That's the thing that is exciting these commentators when they're casting these games and they're watching the games. It's new. It's something that hasn't been seen before, and it's new and it's being used. That, my friends, is what Blizzard needs to be doing more of. They need to be doing more patch changes, more changes, regardless of what the fuck Korean pros say or any other pros. NA, it doesn't matter. Anyone in the world, the polar bears in the pros in Antarctica playing in their fucking igloos. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They need to make changes that spice up the game and make the game better. And that, you'll notice, there's so many things to talk about in this video related to this. It's that all of this ties together. All this fucking ties together, you know. Another point that I want to bring up here, I should have organized these points, but I think, you know, as you listen, a lot of this will flow together anyways. You may have noticed GSL viewership is going up, it seems. Like, there's actually, like, you know, 15K, 16K. We're almost reaching the 20,000 viewer mark on GSL streams. Legacy of the Void viewership is going up, kiddos. It's going fucking up. We're working our way back up there. But why? Why are people coming back to the game? Why are more people watching? Other tournaments too are getting a lot of viewers. But why? That's the question you have to ask. Avilo knows the answer. That's me. I know the answer. I know the cause and effect. Just like I understand the metagame of the game, I understand the cause and effect here. And it's very hard to see, and people are going to make, you know, they're going to say different reasons of why it is. But here's the reason, and I mentioned it earlier, changes to the game. The game is more exciting to watch, bitches. Not just because of the tank-evac itself. Once again, Artosis and Tasteless may be circle jerking the tank-evac being as exciting or whatever and awesome. It's not the tank-evac itself intrinsically that is exciting or awesome. It's the fact that it's a change to the fucking fabric of the game of StarCraft that makes the game play differently than it was before. It makes the game actually more strategically diverse by having changes like that in the game, which is why tank-evac actually needs to go. Back to the tank-evac point. So we're coming back to this community update. That's actually why tank-evac needs to go. And the tank itself, Mech, needs to be buffed. So that there's changes to the game. So that suddenly we see Mech strategies again. So we actually see Mech. Factory-based Mech strategies. And not just buy 100% of the games. If you want viewership, if you want to reach that 20K, 30K, 40,000, 50,000 viewership mark for GSL and whatever other tournament, you need diverse strategies. It can't be the same shit every game. Because at a certain point, it will start to level out and drop off if it's just Bio and Liberator every single game. If it's just Marine Medic, Marine Medevac, Marauder, Liberator with tank-evac every single game, despite the fact that tank-evacs are being circle jerked as exciting, that will get boring eventually because it's the same. You're starting to see a pattern. It's the same thing every game. Same thing. Viewers catch on to this. Viewers... Exciting... Things that bring up viewership for StarCraft 2 are excitement, unpredictability, fun to watch, fun to play. That's like crack to a fucking viewer. When somebody sees somebody going Mech, the reason people enjoy... Why do you think my stream is like fucking crack to StarCraft 2 Twitch users? Is it because my personality? Maybe, of course, that has something to do with it. But it's also because watching me play Mech or Skyturn is like literally feeding these... It's like feeding StarCraft 2 viewers, you know, a fucking drug. It's something that it's different. It's unpredictable. It's so exciting seeing something that's not the norm. If it becomes the norm, it becomes less exciting. That's true. But if there's multiple different things you can do, then then like, for example, let me give you a hypothetical situation. If Blizzard actually made the tank stronger and we saw more mech games, if games became what if things went to the opposite extreme, which I don't think they would. I don't think they would, because bio will always be really fucking good no matter what, basically. But if things went to the opposite extreme and every single game if every single game was only a mech game, only mech every single game, I think, you know, that would, once again, viewership starts going down, because it's, you know, you can only do one, every game is going to be, oh, this guy's going to, you know, make like 50 tanks, going to start to turtle into area. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's the same pattern. So there needs to be some variance in strategies, which is why, right, for historically, for like 99% of StarCraft 2, mech has not been a viable strategy at professional level of play. You saw at the end of Heart of the Swarm, after the Swarm Nose was nerfed, the mass Raven Turtle bullshit, that's not actually a true mech. That's just, the only reason you have to turtle into air is because your opponent makes air, which is an entirely different discussion, but you get what I'm saying here, guys. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. So yeah, back to square one of what I'm discussing. They need to go through with this tank-evac change. They need to make changes to the game. Changes to the game. They need to stop pussying out, because guess what? The changes that they made, the fact that they've made changes is what that my friends is what viewership is going up because changes are being made. They could make the tank-evac, like, they could literally tomorrow they could say that you know, there's a new upgrade in the game that will make siege tanks able to jump up cliffs. They'll be able to latch onto a cliff and jump up a cliff or something. That's exciting as fuck. People will want to watch games and see, like, oh shit, like, look at this shit. Tanks are actually, like, they're actually, like, crawling up a cliff. That what the fuck? Like, it's a change to the game. It's unpredictable. It's new. It's exciting. It's fresh. People watch it. Viewership goes up. So, tank-evac, remove it. It's a change. Make tanks better. It's a change to the game. Makes mech better. It's a change. People will get fucking excited. It doesn't matter. The point isn't whether, you know, tank-evac is good or bad. We need changes to StarCraft 2. They need to stop pushing out and making changes. They need to remove the medevac. They need to make the tank strong, so we actually see some mech and some variance in strategies. Now, if we go down and read, I read a little bit about the feedback that they're saying about the tank change, and I'm going to read this line. I'm going to read these paragraphs. We see Terran players fielding a good mix of bio and mech units. Do we really have to split those two strategies again? Yes. Yes, you do, David Kim. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why you need... Well, first of all, here's the first thing. Stop trying to make every unit... The tank-evac, honestly, is a bio unit. It's a hyper-mobile unit. They keep trying to turn mech units into bio units, you'll notice, because they think that's what's exciting, but it's not. Once again, what's exciting are changes to the game, that the way the game is played. But for some reason, Blizzard has this, like, misconception in their brain that bio is what is exciting, and, like, the fast-paced stuff is exciting. No. Changes are exciting. But you can already see in this, you know, reading this first thing, do we really have to split those two strategies again? Yes! Make mech viable! We've been asking you for fucking years! Like, seriously, Blizzard, like, of course! We want mech to be viable. We don't want bio to not be viable, but a lot of people want mech to be viable. So yes, do we have to... They're already split strategies. Making tanks fly only makes bio better and mech worse. Like, the tank-evac is a bio unit. It has a medevac, it flies, it's hyper-mobile. It's a fuck... They keep trying to, like, fuck mech over and just, like, leave it how it is. And I guarantee you, if we see tank-evacs, we're not going to see mech again for, like, probably the entire lifetime of Legacy of the Void. We're probably just not going to see... We're probably not just ever going to see mech. So yeah. And then, so I'm going to read this sentence here that Blizzard writes. I'm assuming this is Blizzard and not just David Kim because it's the update or whatever. I'm sure a lot of people have input into it. Do we really need, so I quote, do we really need to mix strategies up at this time due to other factors such as resource changes, map diversity, and games having more action in Legacy of the Void, and so on, question mark? Yes. Yes, you do, for everything that I just discussed, everything that I just fucking discussed, the answer to that question, Blizzard and David Kim, do we really need to mix strategies up at this time due to other factors such as the resource, map, etc.? Yes. Yes, you do. Because guess what? Blizzard and David Kim, you guys, I know you, no offense, you don't seem to understand why viewership is going up, but the reason it's going up is because you're making changes. You're making changes to the game. Viewership is going up because you're making change. You guys at Blizzard, you're doing a great. You're making changes to the game. This is what should have been happening all along. And once again, I'm on Blizzard's side. I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to be constructive here. This is what should have been happening for years. What they're doing now, that's why viewership is going and viewership is going up for StarCraft 2. It is. I've watched streams and I've been keeping track. I've been keeping track. I've been looking at it and analyzing it, and viewership is going up, and it's because you're making changes, Blizzard, and keep making them. Don't pussy out now. Don't fucking pussy out now. Do not pussy out now on me, Blizzard. Do not pussy out on me now. Keep making the changes. Remove tank-evac, buff tanks. Keep making these changes. Viewership will fucking skyrocket. Viewers eat this shit up like crack. And it's not. And I'm not saying to just make changes just to make changes. I'm not saying that. I'm saying continue to make changes. Make Mech viable, make the game awesome, make different units good, fix the cyclone, all that stuff. But keep, when you ask this question to us, the community, I think this is the question. Once again, I'm going to repeat it again, just to really let it sink in. Do we really need to mix strategies up at this time? Yes. Yes, you do. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You're doing great, Blizzard. Keep doing it. Make Mech viable. I predict when you actually finally start seeing Mech, when you make the changes to actually make Mech, and I'm not talking about like turtles sit there and do nothing Mech. I'm talking about when Blizzard actually makes Mech changes to the game to make Mech a viable strat at pro level, viewership is going to fucking skyrocket. Say hello to 100k viewers. Eventually. It's going to take a while, but eventually. Eventually, it'll be fucking awesome. But, gotta keep making the changes. You can't pussy out now. Don't pussy out now. Just because, 5 Korean pros don't want you to change the game at all. Don't... I'm asking you and telling you, Blizzard, I'm doing both at the same time. Don't listen to the Korean pros. Don't listen to NA pros. Don't listen to commentators. Listen to me. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Keep making changes to the game. The community as a whole... The 10% pro gamers, commentators, they may not I don't think they even understand what's best for the game. I do though. I do. If you keep making changes, the game's gonna be amazing, and the commentators and those commentators and personalities, whether they like it or not, I'm right, and they're gonna see that I'm right, and eventually they'll realize that I'm, whether they want, they'll reluctantly finally realize, oh, okay, Avilo was actually trying to help the game be, really awesome, and they'll realize that I'm right. Maybe maybe there's some that actually do realize it now. But eventually people will realize that, yes, you need patch changes. You need a lot of patch changes, and keep them coming. Keep them coming. Make Mech viable. Do things in the game. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a couple other, the other thing, the thing, I guess to end this video, I will say that I'm actually, I'm going to be putting out a test map or a balance mod myself. I'm starting to learn the editor, and I'm also getting help from somebody else to get some changes out relatively quickly. Assuming that goes through, I will actually have a test map out for you guys with some changes that I feel like are good changes to make Mech viable. Because there's two issues two issues with Mech. One, the tank sort of sucks, and we need more damage on the tank. Remove the tank-evac. That's the first thing. The second thing is Mech has no anti-air units, and this is actually, you know what? I'm gonna make this a separate video, a shorter video to get to the point. But those are the, you know. Anyways, to end the video, I'm gonna be making my own test mod, and this is not to spite Blizzard. This is to work in conjunction with them as you know, a member of the StarCraft 2 community. I'm going to put some things into a test map that I feel would be good for the game, and that I could present to Blizzard and show them, and that, you know, on whether on the forums or whether I get into contact with any of them, I can show them this test map. I'm also good. You guys can look forward to. I'm gonna put up some of my own money as, like, you know, prize money, like show match money or whatever, and I'll try and get some, you know, I'll try and get some personalities to play on whatever on the map, on the map that's being made, with the changes that I have in mind, and then we'll get those. We'll get the VODs. You guys will see, you know, oh wow, this is actually, this change is a good change, makes Mech viable, and these other changes are good, and then we can show that, you know, I can take that, and I can give that to Blizzard and be like, hey, look, this has actually been tested. I've actually had, like, pros, I've had people in the community, Masters Leaguers, GMs, pros, I've had people play on these, and here's their feedback. Now I'm giving you all of that collective feedback. You know, if hopefully they listen and look at it, and then they be like, oh, okay, this is, you know, this might be a good idea. This might spicing up the game, make it more awesome strategically, or you know, help shore up some of those issues, like, oh yeah, Mech needs an anti-air unit. Like, what are we gonna do for that? Which is what my next video will be about. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Anyways, I'm trying to stay positive. You know, just like Blizzard is saying, everybody should try and be positive, and that's. I think the number one thing, too long didn't listen to this video, keep making changes, Blizzard. Keep making changes to the game. Don't pussy out now. Keep, you know, change the tank-evac, because the changes and the patch changes and the metagame changes that you're doing are what are bringing more viewers and more people either back from whatever other games they're playing or newer players into the game. The fact that the Blizzard, you know, Blizzard as a company is showing that they're supporting the game, that is very key, and the fact that there's changes being made is what is exciting about the game for spectators and viewers. Not the tank-evac itself, not the Raptor itself. The fact that the exciting part is those things were added into the game, and those things change the game. So keep doing things like that, and people will keep getting excited, and StarCraft 2 will slowly. I know Blizzard themselves, one of their developers, Dustin Browder, said that they don't care if StarCraft. Obviously, they don't develop. They don't care if StarCraft 1 is number 1 or number 2, or you know what I'm saying. Like, as a developer, they just develop and try and do the best job they can. That's what they're saying, or that's what I remember reading, like a tweet from Dustin Browder, which is great. But would also be great is if it is number 1. Ah! That would be great too, right? And it can get back up there. Like, StarCraft 2 will slowly and steadily climb as long as changes are being made. Peace out. I'm repeating myself now. Peace out. See you guys later.